There's so much going on this week. I'm going to start with what happened over the weekend. I needed a day off yesterday. I was just taking in my great day. Saturday was a great party. After all, I had a lot of fun. I hope y'all did. I just brought one of my signs with me. We had a sign making party Saturday morning before, and we almost missed the movement because we were having so much fun. So this was the one I made. It says the administration is now the minority. So Donald Trump and everyone in the White House is now the minority. And then this also came to me, which was SCOTUS, the Supreme Court, equality for all. Equality for all. Because they're about to make a decision that's going to be very important to the history of the United States. And I just hope that they do the right thing, because I don't know how those few conservatives got in there, but it is messed up and it is corrupt. And I hope they realize they're dealing with the whole entire country when they make this decision and they uphold the law. So Saturdays was no King's Day, and it was fantastic. I loved the Raleigh turnout. We had it at a new location, which turned out to be a lot of fun anyway. We did it on the streets at the intersections, and so many people were beeping, and there was a Pokemon character, making sure everybody crossed the street properly, a street crosser. There were so many people and great signs out there. I talked to a few people and we had a really good day. And then we got together afterwards and talked a little bit about it. But because we were out there for quite a few hours, we just ended up ordering a few really good pizzas and had some really good conversation. Yeah. So I think there was over 7 million people out there just in our country alone, which is a great success. And just coming together is amazing to me. I mean, so much can come out of that. So a lot's going on today. And I just want to bring up, I don't know if you saw it today, but Amazon's AWS, which handles the online information for a lot and lot of apps and businesses. Well, apparently at midnight last night, it went down for like 2 hours while we were sleeping. And they're claiming it wasn't a cyber attack, and they're investigating what really happened, and they're trying to play it down. But who knows if we'll ever hear the truth about what really happened last night. But it did turn down. The apps that were affected are crazy. They're the ones we all use. And it's Ring, it's Amazon, it's Chime, it's Alexa by Amazon, it's Roblox, it's Venmo, Fortnite, HBO Max, Blink, McDonald's, FanDuel, Roku, Signal, Lyft, Prime Video, T-Mobile, Hulu, just to name a few. So I thought that was pretty insane, in case you haven't heard that yet. So also tomorrow, I wanted everybody to know, tomorrow, Virginia Giuffre's book is coming out. So October 21st is the release date. It's called Nobody's Girl. Just going to cry thinking about it. Virginia Giuffre Roberts was one of the first girls that came out and spoke up about her sexual abuse and assaults by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, our president's very good friend, Jepstein, for short. Very good friend for 10 to 15 years. So she has since then committed suicide. Who knows? Because they say Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. But her memoirs are getting put out there. I already pre-ordered it. I hope you pre-order it. I hope we all read it and remember and give this girl her due process she deserved. Because from the very beginning, they've been trying for decades to have these men and women, be held accountable for all their crimes that they have committed. And all the other victims and survivors have also been trying for decades against this corrupt government that we have to get these people, these men, held accountable. Now, they did hold Ghislaine Maxwell accountable, but since then she's been moved to a very, very extremely low, if any, security prison called Camp Bryan in Texas. And she hasn't been moved back to her Tallahassee, Florida prison with the high security that she belongs in, because she was convicted for 20 years on sex trafficking to minors and for lying to the court. She still hasn't admitted anything to this day, but obviously to get convicted for 20 years, there was a lot of evidence. And release the Epstein files. They still have not released the Epstein files. I wanted to review the 20-day shutdown today, and this is straight from Bernie Sanders' mouth, who I love to listen to. He's straightforward. He just gives it to us like he should be, and he's in the office again like he always is with the other Democrats that sit and talk about what they should do and what's going on, and still the Republicans are out and not working. They're still on vacation. And it turns out that the House of Representatives, they've worked 77 days out of 89 thus far. That's 12 days they've worked in the last 3 months. Could you imagine you going into work for only 12 days to your job the last 3 months? Wouldn't you be fired? And they're still getting paid. They're still getting paid. And they've worked 12 days out of 89. So, and of course, they are not opening the House up because they don't want anything bad to happen to Donald Trump. They're going to have to swear in the new congresswoman from Arizona that they refused to, and she's going to be the 218th vote on releasing the entire Epstein files. Don't get fooled when they say they already released it. They already released basically what was all public knowledge already. They have not released the Epstein files. That's just one of many reasons. So I'm going to go back to the reasons that Bernie Sanders talks about, and he talks about paying attention. Like every day there's something different going on. He's distracting us in many different ways, our president and the entire administration. And, basically he wants to focus on this fact that the richest people in the country, all the billionaires that surround him in the White House all the time that we see, how are they doing right now? They have never been better. They are making money. They are making zillions and zillions of dollars, Bernie Sanders says. They're doing just fine. Then he goes to, of course, how are you doing? How am I doing? Are we living our finest years of our lives with this presidency? I could say no, I am not by far. I mean, just mentally, I'm being triggered all the time, every day, by everything he does. He's just a threat to our country, the way I see it. So Bernie goes on to say, can you enjoy quality food for yourself and your family at the grocery store? Or do you have to pinch pennies and buy junk? How about your rent? Is it 40 to 50% of your income? That's a lot of your income for a monthly bill that doesn't change. How about your health care? Is it going to go up double? Is it going to go up triple? Are you going to be able to afford your health care at all? So just keep paying attention to these fundamental issues is basically what he was saying. And the billionaire class, they haven't been better, and they have been funding Trump. And they're all just delighted, aren't they? And here we are struggling. It's just so normal to struggle. And I can't say struggle because I feel like I've had a blessed life. But, we've struggled our whole life. And I don't want to use that word because, again, I feel very blessed to have the family I have. My husband's always worked 2 jobs, and he's 60 and he still does, just to have us afford our lifestyle as a working class citizen. And we wish we could have done more for our children. We do what we can for them. They're all in their 20s now, but we wish we could have helped them more through life, up to and continue at this point. And we still do. So the fact that he's still working 2 jobs at 60 years old is just so we could stay just about ahead, so we don't have to struggle at the grocery store, so we can pay our rent on time every month, so we finally, for once in our lives, have a little bit of savings, because we chose for me to stay home with the kids. And I did not get paid for that. I did not get a 401k for that. I did not get a pension plan for that. I didn't get $100,000 a year for that like ICE is. I didn't get student forgiveness for that like ICE is. I didn't get a $50,000 bonus to be a mom and a wife like ICE is. I'm not getting paid during a furlough like ICE is by a super check to pay them a large amount of money in advance. Okay? I'm just a normal, everyday American female. And we're just trying to live our life comfortably. Okay? So we're still in the shutdown. We're still working on trying to get the health care for everybody across the country normalized. And the Republicans refuse to gather together, and they refuse to agree to this. But what they don't refuse to 100% is to have the billionaires tax cut forever. There's no time limit on that. That's no time limit like there was on the premiums for the healthcare right now. And so that's what we're fighting for. The fact that they're still shut down. This is our only tool in the toolbox right now that our Congress has. So kudos to them. I'm fine with that for right now. I'm sorry for those of you who are suffering. I have suffered too for reasons like this before in the past, but I have to tell you, because of my life experience, this one tool that we have right now is so important, and I am so proud of the Democrats in our office right now. And I'm so glad they're standing their ground, and they're not just standing their ground for blue states, they're standing their ground for red states, because they're going to be hit the most. The people that didn't vote for them are going to be hit the most first. and then it's going to trickle down across the rest of the state. So they actually